format, the cast art heavyweight paper is definitely a paper to consider. And in today's art cupboard video, I am going to be reviewing it to help you consider it as a paper of choice for your art. Hey, beautiful unicorn. And hey to you, if this is your first time here, my name is Chantal Bancroft. I am a fashion designer and I do art cupboard videos to help make better buying choices during COVID. Today's video is about the cast art heavyweight cartridge paper, which I think you could tell at the top of the video that I really love. And I got my notes here to make sure I go through everything. As normal with these art cupboard videos, I break the paper down into lots of different sections. So I'm going to be talking about size, weight, grain, cost, how it handles certain media, and very importantly, how white is the paper. Is this paper going to be optically bright enough for you to be able to scan in your work into your computer and not give you that kind of grayish undertone that some other papers do? All right, let's get started with size. So, like I said, I've got my notes here. So I haven't got a pad here at the moment because I used this paper way back in 2015 when I was doing my daily drawing challenge. I did a drawing a day every day for 100 days, and I used this paper in the first 10 to 20 days. So I don't have a pad to show you, but I do have some examples to show you later on in the video on how it handles certain media, because I did use the paper and I have got those original drawings here to show you. How it handles certain media. All right, you guys, so I have a couple of examples of how this, but size-wise, it goes from A5 to A4. The heavyweight cast art pad is 200 grams GSM. Yep, so it comes as a gummed pad, so you can tear it out easily, and so you can use it for easel work. And I believe there's 25 sheets in all the sizes that they offer. I bought size, I believe I bought size A3 because I was using it for a lot of days, so I wanted to be able to get a lot of paper. And if you do work small format, then A3 is a really good option because obviously you got more paper. Or even A2, that's a good option too. So at the time of me recording this video, Cast Art are selling this paper for A2 at $16.95, A3 at $8.95, A4 at $5.75, and A5 at $3.95, which that's a bit of a bargain. A lot of papers out there start at $16.95 for their A3. So to get an A2 at £16, awesome sauce. So I've only got this example to show you in terms of how it handles graphite pencil because I haven't got any more of this paper left and I haven't used it since 2015. But on this original piece that I did use graphite pencil to do some of the shading. So I can show you what the grain looks like on here. And it has a really lovely texture and a very, very slight grain. The tooth isn't too heavy. I'm gonna go in really close and show you. I mean, it hasn't got much of a tooth, but it's there. But it hasn't got much of a tooth, but it's there. So let's go in. I've got all my bright lights on now, so I can definitely show you the grain. And you can see how it just grabs the graphite pencil. I'm sorry, I don't remember which one of my HBs I was using, but that's definitely a good example of what the grain's like. It's very, very light. Like super, super light. But it will hold your pencil. It will hold it, don't worry. And on the Cast Art website, which is where I bought it from, they say that it's able to hold charcoal, marker pens, pencil, watercolor, and acrylics. And it really does. It really does. So like I said, I used this paper probably for the first 10 to 15 days of my daily drawing. And I was looking for a paper at that time. Everything was budget, right? Everything's budget now, but I was on a super budget. And I needed a paper that was going to allow me to do a lot of different things. I was using a lot of inks and I was using a lot of watercolor. I wanted to use pen. I wanted to use, I wanted to be able to do washes. I wanted to be able to do a heavier wash. I wanted to do all kinds of things. So I needed the paper to do a lot of stuff. And this paper really, it didn't disappoint. It really didn't disappoint. I can use anything I want on it. So I've got some examples of what I did during my 100 days. And I use, like I said, I use inks and I use different pencils and I did spladges and splodges. And I can show you exactly how this paper handles different types of media. So here is, I used a biro pen, an ink pen. And that what you see here, this is watercolor. And you can see it grabs onto this really, really well. The color is vibrant. I was actually really impressed with this. I used a lot of gold inks. And you know with Winsor & Newton inks, which is the inks that I use, the gold can be very cloggy and cluggy. And I was just molding this shit on. And it came out really, really well. I was really impressed with it. Again, I used a lot of heavy Indian ink and it just holds up so well. One thing I would say is if you're going to use this, this paper, it doesn't buckle too much if you use a light wash. It doesn't buckle too much if you use a heavier wash. But I remember that this was one of the very few paintings that I did where I didn't dry this flat and it still came out okay. But again, I would definitely say dry your art flat, as in put something down over it while it dries. It shouldn't buckle, but that is another way of kind of helping it. And you can see this paper is like, I mean, it's not thin, it's sturdy, but I don't know, I was really impressed with it. Here's another thing. So I printed on this paper using my Epson printer. Again, I laid on a lot of orange, a lot of inks, and it just handled it so well. Really impressed. Really impressed with this paper. I mean, look how vibrant that is. And it didn't come out through the other side as well. Really great. So if you are someone that uses a lot of inks, and you use a lot of watercolor, this paper is going to be able to handle it, no problem. Okay guys, so let's go in with this test. How white is this paper? Okay, so what you see here is the Casa Art Heavyweight, and here is a normal piece of photocopier paper, the kind of paper you'd put into your printer. And I think it does an excellent job. It is pretty white. Obviously, it's not that close. It's not as cool as this paper, but that is really good. It is very bright and definitely not going to disappoint. I have used this paper. I have scanned artwork into my computer and used this paper, and I've had no problems. It's definitely a really great paper to use. Woo! So all round, this is a really great paper. I think it's really good if you're on a budget. I think it's really good if you're just starting out. I think it's really good if you're a professional. I think it's really good if you've been painting and drawing for a number of years, but you don't consider yourself to be a professional. I think it's an all round great paper. If you have been searching online looking for reviews on the Daler and Rowney paper, I got you. I've got 2 videos I've done on that company's heavyweight paper and the lightweight version of the heavyweight paper. I will leave it in the description box below.